Hey, what's up guys? It's Dave from Cousins Paintball, and today we're going to show you how to install the Halo Pro shell kit. They'll fit both the Empire Halo 2 and the previous models, the Halo B with rip drive, V35s, all those old school guys that I'm sure the shells have exploded by now, but the drivetrain still works like a champ. Those guys will all fit in this thing, and the upside to that is you won't have to use 97 Phillips head screws to get at it and clean it up anymore. That's the beauty of this kit. Goes together pretty easily on paper. It's a little bit finicky, but you'll watch the video and see me struggle. It's gonna be fun. So stick around. Thanks. Alright, so we're going to show you how to install the Halo Pro shell kit. Obviously you got to start with a Halo or Halo 2. We don't need to show you how to disassemble a Halo 2 really. It's just a bunch of Phillips head screws getting unscrewed. If you need help with that, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. In this situation we're going to want to be going lefty-loosey. Take all those screws out, pull the shell up. Now you'll have unsandwiched the two sides of the loader. You can put that stuff off to the side, put it in a box in your basement. You're never going to need them again. Next step, what I would do is, just to get it out of the way, unplug the battery carrier. Put that off to the side. I'm actually going to put a little bowl over here to keep track of my parts. There's only a couple, 3 parts that we need to move around really, but they're little and my tech mat's black, so it's not ideal. Then we're going to lift the drivetrain, the board, and the button thing out of the loader. Put the other side of the loader off to the side. Alright, button thing for now. The next step is you're going to want to remove the C-clip from the rip drive. I'm going to use a dental pick. I always put my thumb in front of it so I can't launch it into the woods. Put that in the bowl so you don't lose it, along with the rip drive. Oop. Or rip drive wheel. This is pretty much all we're going to need for now. Unboxing the Halo 2 or Halo Pro shell kit. Basically it makes what is probably the fastest feeding loader on the market low-key. A modern loader so you can clean it without using tools like everything else. That's good. So right now it's not really held together with anything. Just going to pull the shell up. It's kind of like the Triad. There's a hole in the front of the loader, little lip in the front on the top. Those just kind of connect together first, then pivot it down. We don't really need the top of the shell for right now. We'll get into that later. In that is a baggie in which you've got this black thing that has the tab that holds the top on, and a Phillips head screw that's very important. Put those off to the side for now. And then we got the rest of the assembly. We got, I'll call it a tray. In this situation, it just kind of pulls up like that. Then we got the bottom part that all the guts are going to go into. Batteries now live here instead of having a battery door up front. Looks like you could take this spacer out and use a 6 battery what's it called, battery holder for a so if you have like an old style Halo that uses a 6 batteries, that might be cool. So you got that guy. Velcro obviously holds that in place. We can ignore that for now. So the biggest headache of anything Halo assembly is you have to line the battery and the battery, or not the battery, the board and the board button cover, whatever you want to call it. You have to slide them into the tray or the loader shell at the same time. You're just kind of sliding 2 things into 2 slots at the same time. It's a little bit finicky, and this assembly makes it even worse. We're going to take the Phillips head screw out now. That screw basically just goes into the bottom of this guy, this hole, once it's assembled and holds everything in place. So, what we had to figure out is you've got all the stuff that came out of your old loader. This tabby black thing is going to go in between your button part and your board. So it's going to go something like that and sandwich in there. Simple, you say. It is relatively simple, but it's kind of hard to do. Maybe because I got big mitts, maybe because it's a little wiggly. What are you going to do? So you're going to drop the blue drivetrain, whatever you want to call it, that whole assembly into the tray. It's got tabs on it. It goes into the little female parts on the loader, holds that in place, everything's good to go. Now the fun part begins, and sometimes it's easier to do this without the tray put all the way in there. I tried to do it by unbuttoning the board, but I don't know how to do that, or unplugging the board from the loader. That was tough too. I don't know if you guys can see, and I'm going to do my best to make this clear. So you got 3 slots on the lower tray. Got the back one that the board goes into, the middle one where the black buttony doohickey thing goes, and then you've got, that's the wider one, and then you've got the back one in which the button goes. They're all thin, and you're dealing with 3 things that you got to line up at once. So it's not the most fun thing in the world to do. It's also not the least fun. I was pretty successful putting the first one in maybe 1/8 of an inch, like the board into the slot, like 1/8 of an inch maybe. And you still have enough clearance to put the other 2 in at the same time, so you at least have something holding them in place. Do we have them all at once? Boom, so we got them all in place. It's a little bit of a, like I said, a little bit of a struggle, but it's not the hardest thing in the world I've ever done. You just want to make sure that everything's seated down low. Push the button a few times, you can feel it click. Now you know you're in place. Now the next step is that little black screw that we were messing with before. You're going to want to put that into the loader down here. It's a little Phillips head, a little self-tapper, nothing crazy. The blue tray or the guts are going to want to fall out, so I've got kind of my middle finger holding those in place right now. It's not the end of the world, but it's annoying too. Cool, so all that stuff's in place. It'll make more sense in a second why that's important. So you got guts down here. Now we're going to plug the battery pack back in place. Open up the Velcro, put that away. That was really the hard part. The rest of this is really easy. So that's held in place. I could probably get it a little bit tighter, but with the Velcros, but when there's batteries in it, it'll be even easier. Then you want to put this guy in. I'm going to call that the tray. That battery will actually fit better if you don't have the battery connector down. Seems to be the case. So you're going to want to hook the tab into the front part, that same hole that the top shell goes into. Hook that in there. It's going to flex a little bit. Push it down in here to latch into that place. And that's all secure. That's not going anywhere. Then we're going to front hook, like we showed before. Pivot that down. You're going to want to push the tab in a little bit. Oh, I know what's going on. There's a lock for the tab. Cool. So that guy was just in the lock position, so let me push it down. Boom. So now that thing is locked into place. Push the red tab back down. That'll stop the stop this tab from being allowed, or the button to being allowed to open up accidentally. Then close the lid back up. Boom. That's all held in place. If you want to take the rain lid off, it's just held in place with two little clips. So just push it from the inside. Sometimes it'll be a little more violent than others. And JT Empire, it's the same company, just released Speed Feed Pros for these guys, so you can replace the rubber tabs. So those are pretty cool. It's like a spring-loaded joint, like the crown, the Virtue crowns. So that thing's all installed. Next thing you got to do, or the final thing you got to do really, is put the rip drive wheel back in place. So just put the wheel back in place and then push the C-clip into place. That was an amazing good time, wasn't it, guys? Installing loader shells, probably the most fun I've had this week, be honest. If you have any questions, comments, whatever, throw them below. If you like what we're doing, subscribe. There's a lot of people watching these videos, and we don't have 1 million subscribers, so let's get on that, huh? Also, if you want to buy anything from us, go to shopcousins.com. We're real people. We like to ship things all over the country. If you want to shop in store, come and visit us. We're friendly, I promise. Come to our store in Deer Park. We've got pro shops in New Jersey and Long Island and Virginia, so go there too at our parks. We've got playing fields all over the country. Go to cousinspaintball.com, cousinsadventureparks.com, or shopcousins.com, and we'll get you set up. Thank you for everything.